Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lyons Den After Dark. I'm your host, Loren Lyons, and tonight I am here all by myself, but we're still going to have a good time. We're here to recap Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, episode 3. And to say the least, this episode was very chaotic, but we'll get into that shortly. As you guys should know by now, here at the Lyons Den After Dark, we're here to have a good time. So grab your favorite sippy cup. Tonight, I'm just going to do my off brand reduce. And a couple of house den rules. This is a show, and we do not know these people personally. So please understand anything that we are saying with this show is in context of the show. No, we do not know them, so all of our opinions are only based on what we see on the show. All right. So let's get into it because there's a lot to unpack. At the end, we'll also do our ratings for this week and last week because we did not do them last week, but we will also do that as well. So feel free in the comments if you're watching it live or watching the replay. Let me know how you feel about my ratings. If I'm being too harsh or you have a different of opinion, let me know. I want to hear what you guys have to say because this was for sure a wild episode. So let's get into it. So we start off the episode with where we left off last week with Alex confronting Jordan and Summers, or Nick, I'm sorry, asking Jordan and Summer, hey, do I make you guys uncomfortable while they were in the middle of taking a nap? And, because they're half asleep and kind of taken off guard, they kind of answer him, they didn't have the same energy, but they were just kind of like, they still did express to him that, like, yeah, when you do drink, you get a little handsy. And, we just think that you should just be more mindful of that. I do feel like they could have been a little bit more direct in saying, like, listen, you have a girlfriend, like, let's respect her boundaries. So throughout the episodes, you kind of see Nick kind of freaking out about it. I mean, they make it clear that they don't think he's like inappropriate or anything. They just think that he needs to respect boundaries. I 100% agree because I'm so surprised he's still in a relationship. But he is. So, the fact that you don't think about having respect for the person you're in a relationship with kind of shows how how you feel about that person, right? So it's probably time to hang it up and let it go because you're not fooling anybody with that one. So, that situation happens. Then we get a scene during the morning time where Shanice is talking to her mom. And let me tell you, Shanice's mama don't play. Like, it was quite hilarious. Shanice's mom pretty much told her, like, listen, and we're talking here. Shanice is updating her mom on what Summer said to her or said about her, being the worst dress and how she felt like it was Mean Girl. And her mom was like, listen, you sound like a hater. It don't matter. Like her mom was like, who cares? Like she was talking, okay? It was quite entertaining. I just wish Shanice would have that same hype. Like, girl, we're adults. You have to be able to communicate how you feel, especially if that's supposed to be your friend. And your friend was being a mean girl and you should have let her know. Like, and the fact that like Shanice gets so uncomfortable, like you could tell she gets so uncomfortable with confrontation. But it's baby girl, it's a part of life. Like, you gotta be able to stand up for yourself. And the fact that like you just get so scared or you say something totally different when that person's in your face, like, we got to do better, honey, because you should have definitely let Summer know, that was not cool. Why would you do that? Especially when you know my situation. Like, you knew what you were doing and it's trifling. But it seemed like Mama Shanice don't play. So, hey, she was speaking facts in that moment. While after this is going on, we get a moment with Noelle and Alex, of Noelle flirting with Alex. And I guess Summer like comes and interrupts again of the first time. Yeah. Um I I just don't understand why, like, your friend or girl in the house has been sleeping with Alex and you still are like on team Alex. But I mean, I guess people don't care, or she doesn't care, because yeah. um so we have that moment, and that's not the only cringe moment between those two. But we get to see them share that moment. So I guess, so it showed that they have some interest, or they were kind of flirty or whatever. It was kind of cringy to me, to be honest with you. But anyway, they shared that moment. And so then we get down to the party that Shanice hosted for the house. This is her first party, or party that she hosts. And so she has a water slide with bubbles in the jacuzzi. It's glow in the dark. And it seems like they're having a pretty good time. There was really no drama here. They start to play like a relay game with where it was Team Shanice versus Amir. So on Team Shanice, we had Alex, Jordan, and Bria. On Team Amir, we had Preston, Nick, and Jasmine. Yeah. So, and I don't know who Noelle's team, what team she was on, but anyway. Yeah, I don't know whose team she was on. Maybe it was Shanice. But anyway, they're playing this game, and Shanice also invites some people in the house. We got new people. Like, finally. But I guess they don't last long. His name is Hendrix, aka Bad Bunny, because he absolutely did look like Bad Bunny. Like, I'm sorry, he looked like Bad Bunny. So while they're there at the party, Noelle and Bad Bunny kind of hit it off. They get real flirtatious, kind of handsy a little bit. They share a cupcake, and it's his birthday, so they're kind of hitting it off. Production, being shady, was just panning at Alex's face and expressions like he was bothered. I thought it was pretty hilarious. So we saw that happen. We saw Noelle pretty much keeping her options open, as you really should. And so, they're having a good time. They are doing like the glow in the dark. Of course, it wouldn't be a Shanice party without her getting naked. And I have a feeling we're going to see that a lot this season. So while we're also doing this, production was just shading Jasmine the entire episode about what non-alcoholic beverages she had. I mean, guys, like, y'all, it was kind of funny. It was definitely funny. Just counting, all of the drinks in wine glasses, and we know it's not alcohol. At this point, girl, just do a gender reveal. Because we know. But I get it. I totally get why you maybe wouldn't want to say anything, just given the atmosphere of the summer house. So, but I mean, it's a dead giveaway at this point. Like, it was a giveaway when you're reason, because of course, like, you're here, they know you just quit drinking. Okay, girl, the jig is up. But we get that, we have that night, they have their party, then we get to the next morning, and Jordan is talking, or they're in the car, and Jordan shares with Shanice. She's like, hey, have you talked to her yet? She's like, well, I had to kind of get on her too. So everyone's like, why? And she says, oh, because at my apartment, in where I live, Jordan was showing out in front of my apartment complex, and I really care about, how I present myself and who's around me. And I felt like she just pretty much didn't have no home training. So apparently she was making out with some guy in front of her apartment. Everybody was kind of watching. It got really, really, I guess, handsy and whatnot in front of public. So, Jordan had to have a conversation with her to be like, hey, you need to chill, you need to relax. And so they're pretty much just trying to be like, yeah, you need to talk to her about it because it did bother you. You need to really be able to express that that was not okay. Of course, Shanice is kind of like, oh, I'm here for a good time. Yeah, yeah. You could be here for a good time, but don't let nobody disrespect you, Shanice. Don't let nobody do that. Okay. So, because what we're really finding out Summer's personality this season, and it is not what I thought it was. And I don't like it. It's giving real mean girl. I'm not feeling it at all. And so while she's in the car, Preston and Amir are in the car with them. And so, Noelle shares that like, oh yeah, I really wasn't feeling Hendrix. He was the type that wanted girls to like just flaunt all over him. You did, but okay. I guess she just didn't want to keep going, which I understand. Like you want someone to like you just like as much as you like them. So I totally understand and get that, but okay. And then ask them, how would you guys feel if you had a friend and she had slept with someone you're interested in now? They were just like, Summer, like, let's not even play games, which I'm with them on that. Like, we all know the situation. We all know who you're talking about. Okay. You're not playing, like, we get it. Okay. You're talking about Summer and you want to see what they think about it. And, they kind of make a joke and be like, oh, well, you guys can at least talk about him and what you guys know about him intimately, which was a sign to maybe not. That was actually from Preston because Preston was also in the car. And that's so real. And I don't know why anyone had to tell you that. Like, at least to me, I feel like that's just too close, too weird, would make me immediately uninterested. But I'm curious, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. How would y'all do that? Like, you good with that? So they go to the store and no, they're shopping, and Noelle decides, I'm gonna cook for Alex, someone who's not your man. I guess show that she's still interested in him. Still interested in him. Okay. So we come back to the house. After they've done cooking, and Noelle presents him the to-go plate, and she's like, "Oh, it's vegan. I hope you like it." Alex just goes, I don't really like tofu, but thanks. And while that's happening, though, we do get a shot of Summer. I mean, the girl almost got whiplash, okay? Trying to see what Noelle and Alex are up to. Let's be clear. Summer most definitely feels some type of way about Noelle liking Alex. Like, she definitely cares. She's lying when she told her give the green light. You know that you still like that man. And still, you did sleep with him. So I get it. Like, that's no. And so I don't really understand why Noelle thinks that green light really meant green light. Like, girl, would you be okay? Like, it's too weird. I don't, but hey. So pretty much Alex kind of dismissed it, because I get it, maybe it's not your thing, but the fact that someone did a nice gesture, if you're really interested, like, I just feel like courtesy would have just been like, oh, well, thank you for thinking of me, even if you didn't like it. But he just pretty much dismissed it. So Noelle was like, I tried. I would have been so embarrassed. I would have been so embarrassed. Like, and that should have told you right there. It really should have. Because again, he was not even like, oh, wow, thank you so much. He was just like, I really don't like it, but thanks. And you would think that would just kind of end it. It did not. It did not. But we will get into that. So after they all come back, Jasmine, or while they were gone, Jasmine has a conversation with Jordan and Summer discussing that, hey, Mariah and Phil are coming. Now, I want to be clear. This conversation, she really wasn't asking. She was telling them they were coming. But it was that Bria and Shanice wanted, I guess, at least Phil to come, and she wanted Mariah to come. Okay. So she's like, okay, well, I'm going to have a house meeting about it. I want to get everybody's thoughts and opinions on it. So they have that house meeting when everyone comes back. And so she brings up Phil. She brings up Phil first, which I feel like I mean, technically makes sense because if I give them a hard no, then they won't be so harsh on Mariah to come back. But everyone pretty much agreed they did not want Phil to come back because, not only did Phil come, he was drunk out his mind. He disrespected all the women in the house. He disrespected all the men in the house, tried to fight technically Jordan, Amir, made very inappropriate comments to Preston. And he was just a horrible, horrible person. Like, he just showed up terribly. And so everybody was kind of like, no, we don't feel comfortable. We don't want him to be here. Then Jasmine asked about Mariah. Everyone was straight with her coming back, including Amir, except for Bria, obviously. Because Mariah was the one who put her hands on Bria. So it wasn't really surprising. So we get an exit from Bria because she, gets upset about it. That's her way, clearly, of handling conflict, just running away instead of just vocalizing herself as an adult. She does a dramatic exit. And but for the most part, the whole house was okay with Mariah coming back. I'm curious, and I want to know in the comments, how did you feel about that? Do you guys think that that was fair? Because I do understand on one hand that, like, I do understand from Bria's perspective, if I'm uncomfortable and I have to pretty much compromise on someone being uncomfortable, then why can y'all not do the same with Phil? I understand from that perspective. However, it's kind of like Phil made everyone uncomfortable. Like, and it was kind of different, but I guess if I was pushed or physically, I don't want to say physically assaulted, well, kind of, if somebody put their hands on me, I mean, could not argue the same thing, So I kind of can see both sides of this situation for sure. And although Bria handles it pretty dramatically, I can totally see why, she would be kind of bothered by the fact that, like, the house is okay with Mariah coming, but not Phil. So I don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I love to hear your perspective on it. But I liked Mariah, and I do feel like it wasn't fair how it was handled, especially when you come to find out that it was actually Amir's fault why that situation. But it's still no excuse to put your hands on someone. So I can definitely agree to that. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys think in the comments. But to me, it kind of seemed like Jasmine already had her mind made up that Mariah was coming. Because again, in the conversation that she had with Jordan and Summer, it was like, she's coming. And so we'll see that information come out later. After the meeting, Bria calls Phil and he's like, oh, I don't even remember. I'm a different person. So you didn't see this episode air? You didn't know how you acted? How do you still not? The whole world saw what you did and you. Okay. All right. I mean, if you know you were that bad in behavior, I would want to see. So I don't believe you. I don't believe that you don't know what you did. Because you were asked to leave. So clearly it was horrible. And you really want to say, I don't remember? It was recorded and it was broadcasted on national TV and you don't know? Interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And that's another point to make as well. Like, I feel like when we talk about Mariah compared to Phil, like, we don't know what we getting. Because the simple fact that you sit here acting like you don't know what you did and you don't like, oh, I don't remember. And you can go and see what you did to get to see why you got that reaction tells me I don't really know what I'm walking myself into. But at least with Mariah, she not aggressive. Like she's not gonna come in ready swinging, ready fighting. She's pretty straightforward. You know how she is. You know. So I feel like the predictability is not there with Phil like it might be for Mariah. And so I can totally understand why the risk is less. But yeah. So he said he don't remember. While they're having that, Preston has a moment where he's triggered by Phil because, again, Phil had made inappropriate comments towards him and just was wilding on that night. So he really was just like, I don't want him to come back. Well, on the conversation that Phil was having with Bria, he reveals that, well, yeah, I talk to Mariah all the time and she was coming anyway. Like, what do you mean? Jasmine already booked her plane ticket. So Phil not even here and he already stirring the pot, okay? Which this is me playing devil's advocate. Y'all all here on reality show trying to clock in, do a job. Mariah and Phil, one thing about it, brought drama to the show. So from a drama perspective, reality TV perspective, it 100% makes sense why you should bring him. It does. Like, I'm just saying, like, hello, we're here to make a show. We're here to get ratings. Bring him. Let's hash it out. If I'm Preston, let me hash it out with Phil. If I'm Bria, let me know Mariah know how I feel. I mean, come on, guys. This is a job. That's how I feel. I know that might be a little villainous, but I mean, you're on a reality show. But I totally get it. Like, if people feel uncomfortable, you have that right to say that. But I'm just saying. But Phil reveals that. And now Bria is mad because she's like, oh, so you had a meeting. You already booked her flight like we were okay with it. And you ask us after the fact? So you really wasn't asking for permission. You was just letting us know. Because once you book a plane ticket, that person coming, they on the way. So what were you asking us for? You might as well should just said she coming. Don't even ask. What was the house meeting for? It was not for a reason. You already made up your mind. So now she's mad, and we know in Bria, oh, she not letting it go. So part 2, they end up going out to dinner. And if you know anything about being a part of the Bravo universe, you know that everything goes down at dinner, and that's just what happened. Everything went down at dinner. So wasn't even 5 minutes into the dinner, Bria just goes straight for it. Okay, right. So Jasmine, is it true that Mariah was already coming? So Jasmine responds and says, well, I asked you all, but yeah, I booked her flight and just how I can book it. I can cancel it. One thing I'll say about Jasmine, like she stood 10 toes on what she did, and I can always respect that. Like she wouldn't, yes, she made that decision. I mean, I did what I did, you know? So I kind of respect it, honestly, because facts, you can't return a flight. Um, so in this moment, we see where Jordan jumps in and pretty much has Bria's back, and is agreeing with Bria. Like, no, we can totally see how it's wrong, because if Bria is expressing she's uncomfortable, just like we expressed Phil was, it's not right. And for you to go ahead and book his flight is also not okay, because let's say we would have did if she would have did that with Phil, everybody would have a problem with that. So it just seems very shady. Jasmine stands on, like, I wasn't being shady. She's my friend. I'm trying to show her, like, do better by her, because we all did, like, last season a lot of us felt like Jasmine wasn't being a girl's girl and did not have Shanice's Mariah's back in this situation, and even how she handled her being kicked out. People felt like she could have did a better job of handling that. So I think Jasmine was really stuck on trying to redeem that relationship. But you can see, like I talked about earlier in episode 1, that rift is still there between Jasmine and Jordan, because Jordan was full speed, no stop, like coming like with Jasmine. And so in between that, Summer kind of walks in, and Summer's like, guys, it's like, let's relax. Like, it's not really that big of a deal. And it, makes the situation worse, to where Jordan and Summer kind of have a moment, and Summer kind of barks back at Jordan. And so in between this, we get another performance from Bria. Bria, she does a dramatic exit and goes home. That's going to get tired real fast, because it's like, girl, please. Do you want an applause? I just, anyway. So while Jordan, I believe, Nick go to walk her to her car, Summer asked Preston, did I come at Jordan wrong? Like, what did I do? And Preston was like, well, pretty much like, you both are very intense with each other. So I think it's a matter of, you all know each other, and you both should know, like, each other's personality. One, not to be offended, but also, yeah, both of your tones be off, which is true. Like, Jordan be coming at you like, this is the great debaters. And you be like, I need you to relax, please. Like, you're at a 10, I need you to be at a 2. Jordan be coming real hard. But Summer, her tone was not correct either. And we, again, know Summer can be real slicks too. So in my opinion, both tone was horrible in that situation. But we'll see over the night that relationship kind of, it brew and gets worse and worse. So afterwards, while Bria's at home with Milo, they go to the club. And while they're at the club, Mr. Playboy Alex himself is talking to another woman at the club. And Noelle, Jasmine, and Shanice are in the bath. They see it. They're in the bathroom. And Noelle's like feeling some type of way about it. Noelle, that's not your man. Like, that's not your man. So what's going on right now? The girls are like, I mean, it's okay for you to feel that way. Like, you didn't know that he was a F-boy? I think that came from Shanice. And Noelle's like, he is? I know those crabs weren't that good that you just totally missed that. And then not only that, Summer, your friend, slept with him. So that didn't stop you. You did a nice gesture and he ignored it. Noelle, sweetie, the signs are there. That man do not want you. Like the signs are there. And to make it worse, Noelle has a conversation with Alex and confronts him about it. Mind you, Summer eggs her on. Yeah, with Alex, you just have to talk to him and let him know how you feel. Feels like a setup. It feels like a setup because what did it didn't really get Summer anywhere. Why would you suggest she do that? I don't know. I don't know. Feels like a setup to me to really embarrass Noelle. Because again, you give her the green light. You know how he is. You didn't. I guess if Noelle's gonna say she didn't know, you didn't tell her like, I want you to understand this was our type of relationship. This is how he is. You didn't even think to do that. You didn't prepare your friend, and then you go and say, "Yeah, just let him know." Don't sit right with me. Mm-mm. But she confronts him and says, I do like you, and I know that like we're both single, but like I am a little bit territorial with people that I like. And I know that you were talking to this girl and I was talking to Hendrix, but I just wanted to just be out in the open with you. So I'm gonna say it again. Well, that's not your man. That's not your man. You're a man, you're a man, you're a man, you're a man, you're a man. And what does Alex do? He just goes, yeah, I pretty much could tell you that I think you did tell me you like me, but pretty much blows her off. The one thing I can at least say about Alex is that he don't run his mouth about what he do in his private life. And I can at least respect that. Like, yeah, he a player, but he not going out in the streets and talking and building drama around it. He do what he do, and that's just what it is. But these girls are the ones making it drama and making everybody into it, And so for him to be like, that's Summer's friend, I feel like this could be some drama. I'm good. Noelle, why you didn't think of that? I'm so puzzled. And you didn't know he was a player? Okay. I just. So I also want to know what's the hype over Alex. Because we've seen him. We know who he is at this point. We know he here for a good time. Everybody know that. Why everybody act like they don't know that? I'm so confused. What is the hype? I just don't get it. That's why I would like more singles to be coming through the house. As everyone's dang near in a relationship or we're fighting over the same guy. I'm tired. Let's let's find some other people, please. I'm over it. I'm completely over it. It's stale. Like Alex is nothing there. Can we stop? Like I'm over it. I'm completely and fully over it. So yeah, he pretty much brushes her off and he stops it, doesn't give her anything, and Noelle admits that she was naive. Yeah. 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 Naive. Y'all, let me know in the comments please tell me, how do I stop my camera from cutting off? I have a Nikon D3400 and I do not know. So please let me know in the comments because this is annoying. But anyway, yeah. She says she's naive and should have known. You don't say. You don't say. So they leave the club. They had a good time or whatever. They a little, you know, going on that happy juice or whatnot. And while they're getting out the car, Jordan uses that opportunity to be like, Summer, we need to talk about what happened earlier. And Summer's like, I'm not trying to do all of that. And she's like, no, I want to say what I want to say because I feel like I need to let you know. So Summer's like, fine, what do you want to say? So Jordan wants to confront about, I guess, how she handled her. It was a lot going on. What she said to her in the previous conversation, and Summer just, well, what I want you to know is I can't even tell you because it was a drunken argument, okay? Like, it was doing way too much. It was like, we need to have this conversation when y'all are sober because it was a lot going on. It was pretty chaotic. It was pretty chaotic. So yeah, it was, I mean, it was a lot of people kind of on one this episode. And yeah, it's only gonna evolve from here. I think it is very fascinating that Mariah's name is making everybody shake. I think that's great. That's impact. That's impact. So she should be proud because, I mean, said her name and it just, whew, and Phil too, which is why it goes back to my point. You're here to make a show. Like, so these people clearly have the potential to bring the drama, which is what you're here for. That's all I'm gonna say. But hey, okay, let's just keep having our little house meetings and like we're in summer camp or something. All right, so that was pretty much the recap of the episode. Again, I would love to hear your comments and let me know what you guys thought about those moments as well, because yeah, like I said, everyone was on one tonight. So we're now going to move into our next segment where we're going to rate our cast by how they performed this episode. These ratings are solely based on opinion. So how did I feel? The situation, what did they do? Solely based on how did they show, and also how they showed up in this episode. So let's get started. So first we have Jasmine, and we're rating them 1 through 5, 1 being so like got on my nerves, 5 being all right. I like how they handled this moment. I like how they did that. They're doing it. So with this rating, we're going to keep into account both last week and this week's episode, because honestly, the ratings are pretty much the same. There's no difference. I feel the same way I felt about people from last episode to this episode. So first, we're going to start with Jasmine. And yeah, like I said in episode 1, I'm really curious to see how her role will be, because it just seems like she no longer fits. And she is the anchor of the show, but honestly, the story is moving. Everything in the drama is moving around her that I almost forget that she is here. So I'm curious to see how her longevity on the show would be. I do like her more without Silas, but at least with her and Silas, it did bring something to the show. It did bring a different perspective. I just have to admit. But it just, yeah, I don't know. I just forget that she's there a lot of the times. Although I will give her credit, 1, with trying to take ownership with Jordan. 2, how she handled the Bria situation, because whether we disagree or not, I feel like she put her foot down, and I can always respect somebody who's gonna put their foot down. So for that, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and give her a 3. I feel like that's fair. 3. Amir. Yeah, we didn't get too much from Amir today, but what I will say is when it came to moving the drama, He was definitely there, and he was there to kind of keep it moving, kind of keep it. Because even when it came down to Shanice addressing Summer, which, oh my God, we skipped that part, right? Totally forgot about that part where at the dinner table, Amir had to be like, "You want to address Summer right now? Or Summer, you want to address Shanice?" She says yes. So then they tell Shanice. Shanice again tries to brush it off, but does actually go and tell how she feels. They had to pull it out of her, but she does it. They had that conversation, or that she says it and expresses how she feels, and Summer apologizes, which at that, I mean, I don't see Summer really being genuine, but I guess we'll see. But Amir, he catapulted that conversation, like he got it going. And then we had with Nick. I believe was he there with Nick in that conversation? I think he kind of got that going. So I mean, he when it's the drama's not with him. One thing about it is Amir, he kind of gets the storyline moving, and so I think that's good, and it makes you relevant, and I can see his impact of the show um a little bit more. So I'll give him a 4. I'll give him a 4. So here we have Jordan next. Yeah, with Jordan. I'm gonna think about this. I One thing about Jordan is she yes, will say what needs to be said. She will speak her mind, which I think is important because it does drive the storyline. Although sometimes it can be a little bit annoying sometimes, but I do respect that she speaks her mind. In that moment with Bria, I mean, it was very interesting to see that Jordan and Bria were on one side and Jasmine and Summer were on another. I thought that was very interesting and really showed how the dynamics have shifted in the house. So as far as her clocking in, I mean, the girl does it. She does it. And then we got to see a very vulnerable moment with Jordan and her alopecia journey as well. So I'm going to actually have to give her a 5. I don't know. Like, yeah, I think I'm going to have to give her a 5. It might. A girl's clocking in. I have to give it to her. I do. Dang, is that high? Because I have to give her more than Amir. I do. I do. Dang. Okay. Yes. We'll keep it there for right now. We'll keep it there. Preston is absolutely, definitely being a connector this season, where he's in the middle of a lot of situations and it is also driving the storyline. Maybe a little bit, actually a lot more than Amir. And although he's not at the forefront of the drama, he's definitely there. Because even when that situation between Jordan and Summer, she was like, "Preston, what do you tell me what you think?" And then when it came to the Nick situation and the Phil situation, so he seems to actually be really involved in the storyline, and he is giving it and he is speaking, and I appreciate his fairness, and I feel like that is very much needed, especially when people are being dramatic. I respect it, so I'm gonna give him a 5. I have to. If I'm gonna give Jordan a 5, I have to give Preston a 5. And I feel like they're both doing it. They're both coming in. They're serving at doing their roles in the dynamic, and I think they're doing a good job. Okay, here we are with Bria. What I will say about Bria is she has definitely calmed down a lot from season 1, but she still is the same in that she likes drama. She is drama. It's not she likes drama. She is drama. And that gets on my nerves. I will just be honest. That gets on my nerves. But as far as a cast dynamic, you need her. You need her. Like, you need a character like that. So she is, in a way, valuable to the dynamic of the show, but I can't stand that dramatic walkouts. Like, we got to do better. Please. Like, uh, but I mean, it's not as bad as last season. Last episode, she didn't really oh yeah, when it came to Shanice, she was trying to stir her up with like, no, you let her know. Which, with that, I totally agreed. This episode, again, the whole dramatic walkouts, which we also saw in season 1, like, that's getting real tired real quick. So for that, I do have to give her, she's working a little bit more than Jasmine, so I automatically have to give her to hang 4. Have to give her a 4. Seems high. But anyway, Nick. Let's talk about Nick. How he came up to that bedroom with Jordan and Summer was hilarious, because it's just so awkward. Bless his little heart. And I mean, but he's yet again another character that I kind of forget is there. And I feel like there is something there with him realizing that, him and his girlfriend, like, he's over, like, he wants to end it. And that can be interesting because we did like his girlfriend, but I don't know. Like, he's just, it's just very interesting. He could not show up next season and I probably wouldn't miss him as much because, again, he doesn't really bring much. So for that, I'm definitely going to have to give him a 3. Here we are with Player Boy himself, Alex. Although I'm completely and overly over him, I have to respect that. When it comes to his business, he don't open his lip, he don't run his mouth. When it comes to girl drama, he really wasn't trying to engage in that. He do tell you what it is, but in a very player way, to where it's kind of like, here's who I am, but I'm open for business. Like, it's kind of like, like, he's kind of playing both sides of it a little bit. But I mean, he do tell you the truth. He is upfront, and he seems to be the center of a lot of the drama happening this season. I cannot give this man a 5. So he's getting a 4 only because, I mean, he's the plot. Like, he's the plot. So I can't act like I can't ignore that. Like, I just can't ignore that. So then we have, wait, Jason. Yeah, Jason is not here. So I guess maybe Jason is not here yet. I don't know where he is. But let's go ahead and skip to Shanice. Yeah, I mean, Shanice is definitely growing on me this season. We are seeing more of a vulnerable side of her. And the physical side of her as well. I do feel like she is slowly but surely getting better at speaking up for herself. She does like to have a good time. She put on a great party. I think she's gotten a lot better. I think last week, what did I give her last week? I gave her a 4. I think I want to give her a 4 again. I mean, she's doing pretty solid, and I don't see any other reason to give her a lower rating. I mean, she's growing, she's trying, and I respect characters like that, castmates over like that, who are growing over time. And her dynamic is needed because she's the fun of the group. So yeah, I give her a 4. Oh, Summer. Summer, 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 summer. I liked Summer in season 1. And to see Summer now is so shocking to me. Like, she's really showing who she is this season, which on one hand, from a show perspective, is like, okay, I like the dynamic because you always need you always need a villain on a show, and Bria can't it's interesting to have kind of two. I don't know if I would call Bria a villain necessarily, but Summer, yeah, because her mouth is something. Her mouth is whew. I mean, and for, didn't she make a comment about, what did she say? Um there was a comment that she had made to someone, I think, about like, oh, you should say, I can't even remember, but she had made like a comment about like someone should do a better job of saying something. I believe it maybe had been in reference to Jordan, and it was like, girl, but you just let the whole world know a man was inside of you. Like, let's be so for real right now. So yeah, like that shook me to my core, that like she would say that and let everybody in her business. She's definitely a mean girl from last week, because I feel like if that's my friend, I am not gonna say something like that. And I'm actually gonna apologize and not poke or make fun of it. And no one should have to tell me that I need to have a conversation with my friend if I consider her to be that, especially when I knew I knew about her personal life and what was going on. That's not okay. And although, like, dang, this is where it gets tricky for me, because she is such a pivotal piece to the storyline, a lot more than Jasmine. So I don't know if it's fair. Ooh, no, yes. Okay. I will give her a 3, because at least, like, I have to give her a rating on the simple fact that from a drama perspective, she bringing it. Like, she's giving us something to talk about. She is, and I have to respect it at the end of the day. But she's definitely showing me a side of her that I am not okay. Like, do not like. I am just like, whoa, girl, you tripping? Like, and what did I give her? I gave her a 1. Ooh, a 3 is a jump. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm so sorry. I have to give you a 2. I can't do that. No, no, no. You're getting a 2 for me, because she been wilding, and I feel like she kind of setting them Noel. You definitely was shading Shanice. No, no, ma'am, absolutely not. I changed my mind. You're getting a 2 for me. Noel, girl, I need you to stand up. I need you to stand up. So for that, I do have to drop your rating, because how did you not know? I just don't. How did you not know? So I have to drop your rating for that. Because there was too many signs and you still wanted this man. What is it? Please, someone let me know in the comments. What is it? Whew. So for that, I cannot rate you high. Overall, I do like Noelle. I do like what she brings to the show. I still feel like it's a little bit early, so I would like to see how she evolves. Definitely would like to see how she is when Mariah, if and when Mariah comes into the house or home. And But yeah, girl, I cannot rate you that high. What did I rate her week one? Week one. Oh, I gave her a 4. Yeah, we're gonna have to give you a 3. As I kind of see a little bit of a mean girl-ish to it. So as well, because she kind of flip-flops a little bit to me as well. So I have to give you a 3. I can't give you anything higher. And I need you to stand up. I need you to stand up. Yeah. So, and then Silas is not here. So we obviously will not rate him. If Mariah or Phil end up coming on the show, we can absolutely add them to this rating list and give our thoughts on them as well. But that is our scoreboard of the cast, and we did week 2 and 3 combined. So yeah, again, let me know in the comments how you feel, what you think. Do you think I nailed it with the ratings? Do you feel differently? I want to know. I want to know your thoughts on this. There was a lot going on this week that I feel like we could really, I would love to hear different perspectives about. But next week we'll be back at 10:30 to recap episode 4. And as we see, it's going to continue with the same drama. And each week, honestly, it's getting better and better. Like, they are working. I have to give them credit. They are working. I am very pleased with season 2. So I look forward to where it goes. So that is it. Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, season 2, episode 3 recap and review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye.